Hey Tribe, welcome to Power Pantaloons. This is Tanya, and today we have with us Heidi Hooper. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what kind of cancer you have you were diagnosed?
Which cancer?
I
I've had
where
several.
I know that you've been winning your battle for what is it, 20 years now?
About 25. I got it in 99. I got it
99.
when I was 33.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it really fucked my life.
I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. So why don't we start in 99
Okay.
and what the symptoms were and how all that rolled out?
Okay. I was a Smith at the time. So I had good size biceps, which caused some of the problem. Because I had hard biceps. Um, I basically started feeling pain in my arm. And I went to everybody I could think of except for specialists, because at the time I just could not afford to pay a specialist to tell me what's wrong. Um, and basically, it took a year before I finally saw a specialist. And when I saw the
Wow.
specialist, uh, basically it had gotten to the point to where I wasn't sleeping at night because the pain was so bad. And the doctors were telling me, but we're not finding anything. So the specialist said, with you having this much pain, something is there, even if we can't see it. So I got really lucky in that he sent me to a doctor in Pennsylvania University, Philly, um, to basically plead my case. And he pulled an illegal for me. He put me down as there's something there and he has to explore it. Um, when they found nothing. And so basically they just went in there and then they cut out the area that I was having the pain with because it was slightly discolored, but that was it. And it's the kind of cancer I had is if you take a sewing pin head, that's the cancer, but the area it's destroying is the size of a silver dollar.
Okay.
Everything else is microscopic. So
Wow.
that's why they had a hard time finding it. So
What is
basically,
it called?
doctor
What
did an exploratory surgery.
No,
And
I mean the kind of cancer. What is that kind of cancer called?
I took desmoid tumors and made them aggressive cancer, desmoidosis. I'm patient zero
Oh my
for
gosh.
desmoidosis.
I don't even
So
know what that is. I mean, like
it
I've known you
only
for a long time and I've
they
watched.
only discovered it 5 years before I got it. So they knew zip.
Oh,
It takes 10, 20 years for the doctors to actually try and figure out a resolution to help the patient. So it was only 5 years old. They discovered it. They thought, oh, this is only a people at 80 years old because it's the only people who've gotten it.
but you.
But I broke the mold, of course. So basically, every time they every time they had to go in, um, it was always guesswork because you can't tell microscopically. You can't sit there and go like that with a microscope while the arm's open, you know? So there was that. Um, Trying to think of what else. The pain level was I've broken my leg and reset it before. Okay, which most people can't do because they're going to black out before they get it done. There was nothing. That is nothing compared to the pain I was going through. My radial nerve, everything was being eaten away. I have after 25 years of that particular cancer, or 20 years is when it finally whatever. Um, I'm left with 1.5 tri muscle, and that's all I have in my upper arm. Everything else is stapled to the bone. which when I broke my arm a couple of years ago, saved my arm. So I guess there is that side of it. But yeah, the only way the cancer stopped was basically long story short, I had 17 operations on the arm. I had, it gave me lymphedema, really bad case of lymphedema. And it gave me osteoporosis and in the arm. And let's see what else. Trying to think of other things off the top of my head, and the head just went. So you go ahead and ask
No, it's
questions.
okay. Yeah. So, um, like I know for me that there were a couple of days that were extra special where I was like, I'm ready to go. Um, I'm sure you had several of those. How did you work through that kind of um decision making?
I'm pigheaded. You're not going to tell me I can't do something. I'm going to physically try it until I physically injure myself, and then I will be convinced I can't do it. So
Maybe.
when I felt my when I hit that, the first 5 years was the roughest because they could not get the pain down. I was on I'm towards the end, I'll give you that how much drugs they had me on, which is why I was when I had this cancer, I used to be very talkative and I got very quiet because in order to my memory was 5 minutes and that was it. I would be in a room and not know why I was there. I had so many times I would go to the bathroom and go, why am I in the bathroom? And I had to pee, but my brain was going, we don't know why you're here. It was awful. So now I forgot, I lost my train of thought.
That happens.
Oh, the pills. Yeah, it's the result of the pills. They had me on gambapentin, 875, 4 times a day. They had me on Oxycontin 4 times a day. They had me oxycodone 4 times a day. I was a basket case. I wore baggy pants and mostly cargo pants, as I had Post-it notes in the pockets so that one pocket was a list of things to do for the day, and I check them off as I did them. And there was messages, if messages I had to interact with other people, it was in another pocket. And I basically had the system I worked out because my memory was 5 minutes and that was it.
That was aside from see, I lost my hair, but aside from losing my hair, the memory, the not knowing what was going on was terrible.
It's awful. And it's the result of the Oxycontin and the gambapentin, because both of them, I learned over time, kill brain cells. One is short term and one's long term. Oxycontin is long term. Gambapentin is short term. I think I've got that right. So I literally have from 99 until like 2008, I have no memory. Zip. I have no memory of anything. It's like, it's just this blank hole. And that's due to the drugs. So when they were with the cancer, when they were gonna rise me up, when THC became legal in Pennsylvania, basically at that time, the doctors were gonna rise me up to 925 or 950. And they were gonna raise all my pills another 100 to count pain. I was a zombie at the time as it was. I mean, you know how that goes. You're a zombie. You're like, I can barely function now. How the hell am I going to function if they're upping it? So I went through everything. I mean, I did acupuncture, I did Reiki, I did everything. Nothing worked. Absolutely nothing. Even dietary, nothing worked. And so then I was desperate and I went, okay, I'm going to try the THC. I got a THC doctor and I have a fucking brain again.
Yeah. Yeah. I it was like for me when I went through my active treatment where I was living, it was not legal. However, friends of mine would come over and they just blow it all in my face. And it was the only thing that fixed the nausea, that fixed the lack of appetite. Like, I,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I had the opposite problem. I was feeling constantly hungry. So I was
wow.
gaining weight like crazy. Um, every year I was gaining another 5 pounds, pretty much. I was about 200 pounds by the time I got on the THC. And
And
right
you've
now
been
I'm
on
at
that,
my,
what, a decade and a half?
yeah, about that. Yeah. And I was having high blood pressure problems and all this other stuff because of the weight. My body just couldn't handle it. Um, and
And the med cocktail.
oh, the med cocktail just, your highlight to the day was eating, and that was it because there was nothing else you could do. You're just zombie. Um, my art suffered, everything suffered.
So
Um,
the THC literally gave you your life back.
it literally gave me my life back. Yeah. I mean, it was
And
fun the first few months when the doctor's getting me acclimated to it.
regulated.
When I'm, which anybody going through that transition, I think everybody goes through it, where you have a few days where you're like, woo, I'm very happy today. And you call the doc and go, I'm really happy today. And he goes, okay, try one pill less tomorrow and see what happens. And doing it that way. So yeah, I was at until this latest thing, I was at 20 milligrams 4 times a day with the THC. That's how high my pain level was. And now after this operation, I have no fucking pain. I'm fucking blown away. I'm like, in fact, I told the doctor to his face, I said, I took you with a grain of salt because all the doctors lie. No offense, but they do. They say, oh, this is going to be fine. You'll be fine. And you're not. You know, the nurses are more honest than the doctors are. I'm sorry. But,
Don't apologize for that.
you
That's your
know,
truth. That is
and
how it
and I
goes for you.
and I said, so I
Yeah.
took him with a grain of salt. I said, I figured 1% of what you said is probably true. And I said, because that's been my experience over the years. And I'm like, but I have to apologize. I haven't, my arm hasn't been in a bag in a month. Well, probably close to a month at this point. And it's not blown up. And
So when you say bag, you're talking about your
my lymphedema
lymphedema.
bag, yeah,
Like that.
from 2000, no, from 2004 or five on, I think it was. Um, I had to get in a lymphedema bag, and each time I went another stage. Every couple of years, I was another stage. So I was the very last. Well, most of my time, I guess I should say, most of my time being lymphedema in the bag, with the machine pumping my blood. Um, I had 3 hours between bags is what I averaged, and that's all I had. Um, and I had gauged my day to it. LARPing people would complain, oh, because I wasn't there healing people and stuff. And I'm like, I can't fucking move right now. Anybody will tell you if they're in a lymphedema bag, even after the hour being in the bag, you still have to sit there for 30 minutes because your body is doing this weird flux thing where it's adjusting from helping the blood flow to suddenly it's not, you know. So
Yeah.
that's more information. But yeah, my cancer I had for like, I think it was 15, almost 20 years. Um, and I had 17 operations and 12 radiations. And the arm liquefied is the only way they stop the cancer. They still haven't found a way to stop that cancer.
Wow.
So I literally have seen my bone with my arm opened up and no blood. It was
That's
pretty, It was like something
Terrifying.
from the living dead. It was pretty terrifying. It was, my arm was slit open. They pulled out the cotton and they go, well, we got a little bit of blood in the bottom, so that's a good sign. We can go ahead. And I'm sitting there going, it's wide open. I'm not bleeding. I can see the effing bone and I can see gray material on either side because this material will be cutting out because it's dead. And I was like, so yes, my last big surgery with my cancer, the desmoitosis.
Was like a month ago, right?
No, no,
No.
no. I had a lymphatic transplant a month ago, brand new
Okay.
procedure. No, with the cancer, I was told I was likely going to wake up without an arm.
I
So when I woke up and my hospital room is filled with doctors, I mean, they were standing in the hallway. There were so many effing doctors in the friggin' room.
teaching hospital.
Yeah, a teaching hospital. Well, that's why I was, able to do it. The doctors go, have you seen it? It looks great. And I went, I looked down, I moved, I had 5 fingers, I moved them. I don't give a fuck what it
I,
looks like.
I
The whole room cracked up. Like, well, that's a new one. And I'm like, look, I
well
got five
that
fingers, I can move them. I don't give a shit what it looks like.
and that's a real thing, right? Like when you're diagnosed with something this brutal and you have to make the decision on whether or not you want to keep the body part and try to combat it or just cut off the body part and hope that that was just where the cancer is. Like
Yeah,
how do you come to that kind of decision? Because like I
yeah. And the last bit I had with the desmoitosis scared the shit out of me, and I didn't tell anybody anything because at 5 years, 2 years, three, no, I think it was 4 years after that last big operation, I got it again. And it was in between my ribs, heading for my heart. So I basically told the doctors, I said, just take whatever the fuck is around it, take way more than you need, just take it all out because I don't want to die.
yeah,
And I know how aggressive, but desmoitosis is a cancer that grows 1 millimeter every 7 days.
holy sh that's
Yeah,
that's a that's
fucking
fast.
aggressive as hell. That's why I had to have so many operations because I kept trying to stop it. And radiation, it did something that no cancer has ever done before. Great, another patient zero. They put the radiation on it and it split into 3 parts. The part they hit with the radiation, and then it actually moved to where my elbow was, and then up to the upper arm. So I had then I had 3 places they had to take care of instead of 2. I mean, instead of 1. So that's why with the last operation, when they said it's in my rib, it's in between my ribs and heading for my heart, I was like, just take the fuck everything out. I don't care if take all the muscle out of my back. I don't care. Just take it. And it
Yeah.
worked because they stopped it. They went, we took out way more material than we would never, ever, ever do. I had to sign a special slip saying, yes, take double what you would normally take.
I didn't even know there was a slip for that. Like I
They have a standard procedure. And if they're going beyond the accepted procedure, then you have to sign saying if something goes wrong, the doctor's not at fault. Because I told him I
to do
wanted
it.
this done against his wishes. Basically, it's covers his ass.
But you and you know this the journey that you've been on and you know what you need for you, right? Like
Yeah.
do you know how rare it is to actually get a doctor that will just agree to something like that?
I was lucky I was at a teaching hospital. Like I said, I went to PU, a teaching hospital, because I was told they'll bend the rules when nobody else will, because they're a teaching hospital. They want the unusual stuff so they can teach their students. So yeah, I had doctors pulling, I'm not going to say names because I don't want to get them in trouble, but I had like 5 doctors that um lied in order to help me out.
That's I
And that's the bottom line. They lied to help me out. I mean, I even had the radiation where they have, I was in a lead room for a month. Most people don't know that. I was in a lead room for a month because they had active radiation glass nodes. I had 19 glass nodes in my arm and I could not move for a month.
I
That was like,
this that's some crazy sci-fi stuff you're talking about, Heidi.
yeah,
Like I a lot of people who have a cancer journey talk about like the IV chairs and stuff like that for the radiation.
yeah,
I didn't do that for my chemo either, right? Like I had to
uh-huh.
go inpatient for mine because the cisplatin that they put me on was so toxic they had to give me rescue drugs. I had never heard of rescue drugs. Like what is even that? So it's
Yeah,
the
I
drug.
learned a lot.
I, yeah, exactly. And that's exactly why I do this is to educate people that there's stuff out there and how to talk to somebody who's going through something like this, right? Like you hear
All you
some
can really do is
real
just
insane
be
stuff.
supportive and not give too much input because the, not to sound rude, but the, oh, I'm sorry gets really fucking old fast.
It's not rude. It's not rude. It
it
really
gets
is.
it gets old really fast.
It does. And for every person going through something like this, it's different. So, like, it's very important to ask them where they're at and how you can support them. And
Yeah.
it's going to be very different than what you expect. Like, the answer is going to be something very different than.
Yeah. And I learned that the difference between chemo and radiation is radiation's hard tissue, chemo is soft tissue. So if it's a hard tissue area, they don't have chemo to rely on because chemo only works really on soft tissue.
Okay.
So your radial nerves, your muscles, those things, they have to use radiation and they can't go the chemo route. So I got lucky. I got to keep my hair, but I lost all the hair off my legs. I never have to shave again. I lost my underarm hair and I lost my leg hair. Yeah.
I
And the good part about the cancer is you get new allergies.
it's
You know, everybody gets new allergies and you get some old allergies are gone. So I'm still allergic to all the painkillers in the book, but I can now have chocolate and peanut butter and shrimp and little bits of ice cream. I'm like, yes.
some of
And
the most important things in life, right?
well, I spent up until 99, I couldn't have them. I was allergic. I had to, I had, if I had something with, I only ever had milk and coffee. That's it. And if I had ice cream, it was a taste or two. And peanut butter, the equivalent of a spoon, was all I could handle for the day. And shrimp quite often made me throw up. So when I suddenly in 99 realized, oh, I can have this. Oh, fuck yes. I can deal with not having other stuff. So not
It's
being able to have a big scoop of or an ice cream sundae was not a big thing. It was like, yeah, but I could have some.
and all you really need to satisfy their craving is a bite or two anyway.
Yeah, that's all you need, really. But
Just
yeah.
a
Oh,
taste.
oh, in reference to what you were saying earlier, as far as like going down that pit, when I found myself at the bottom of the pit, um, I heard Mike crying in his room. And that's when I said, okay, every day I'm going to do something. I don't care if it's just crawling across the house to pee by myself. I'm going to fucking do it. And that's what got me out of it. and I
Yeah.
still do it. When I found myself spiraling around that edge, um, like when I got the breast cancer, I found myself spiraling again. I'm like, oh fuck. And I just every day did something. I had to do something in 12 till 12 every day, whether I liked it or not. Something physical. So
I,
yeah, that's how I got myself out of it.
that's important, right? Like,
I
so
mean, a big accomplishment was I washed dishes. Wow, I washed dishes today. And that's all I did for the whole friggin' day. But
but
it
it
made you
matters.
feel like going on because you did something.
Makes you feel like a human.
Hmm.
It does. And so for people who don't know, Mike is her husband, and they have been married forever. Forever.
Yeah, high school sweethearts,
Yeah.
actually.
Um,
He was
but
the first
doing,
guy I ever dated where it wasn't the bear. You know
yeah.
what that means, right?
Say it again.
He was the first guy I ever dated that wasn't the bear, where I wasn't the bear. You know what that term means, right?
I think so. I think
I was
so.
the gay cover and I
The
didn't know it.
beard. The
The
beard.
beard is always
Yeah.
called a beard. Okay.
It's called a beard.
It's,
Like,
I just learned it not just a few years ago. I was like, oh, there's actually a term for that. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
was,
absolutely.
and I was like, guys, you could have told me and I wouldn't have said a damn thing because I don't friggin' care. It's none of my damn business what you do behind doors. And they're like, yeah, but one slip could have ruined us forever. And I went, yeah, okay, you're justified. But yeah,
Yeah.
I found out later all the guys I ever dated, pretty much the ones that my mom didn't hook me up with. Um, my mom had me dating West Point guys when I was 13 because a guy is supposed to mold you into what he wants.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a
bump
sick,
that.
I had a sick mom.
I,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
the thing that I did every day is I visualized that I was putting on Wonder Woman's underwear. Because to me, Wonder Woman doesn't die. And that's
yeah.
why it's power pantaloons, right? Like,
I listen to the
vi-
Pretenders every day.
yeah,
Chrissy Hines is like nothing like power girl ballads like Chrissy Hines.
finding something that gives you a reason, like,
Yes.
is important. And it could be as silly as Wonder Woman's underwear, right?
I
Finding an
made
anthem,
cookies to get me out of the house. I made cookies and hand them to the neighbors.
doing something for others. Yeah. Like yeah, that's so breast cancer too, huh?
Yeah, I just had breast cancer 3 years ago, somewhere around there, 3 years ago, I think it was. Yeah.
You got to keep the boobs though, right?
Um, I had 17 nodes taken out of one boob. So one boob is about a size B, and no, it's probably about a size C cup. And the other one's still a double D. So it's interesting.
Bras are fun, huh?
Bras are fun. Yeah. Oh, in Pennsylvania, they have a new thing um, where with St. Luke's hospitals, they give you 4 bras a year,
Oh, okay.
and they have a specialist fit the bra for you, and they can have them specially made to where one boob is bigger than the other.
That's freaking amazing.
Isn't it? I was like,
That
my therapist told me, and I was like, no. And she goes, yeah.
that is
I mean, that's
incredible.
like $200 in your pocket, you know? I mean,
I,
bras are like $50 a pop.
I starting at $50 a pop
Yeah,
for good ones anyway. And
yeah.
that that's that that is incredible.
Is that awesome?
It is. I love hearing stuff like that.
So, I mean, it's mostly for, I mean, it's obviously for breast cancer patients are the ones they're centering on. But if you have a need and you can get a doctor to sign for it, they will give you 4 bras a year.
Wow.
and they're like they're thinner than a sports bra kind of stretch fabric, but they're stretch fabric like a sports bra.
Okay. All right.
And they don't have skinny straps.
Backs.
It's like nothing cuts your skin worse than those
Oh,
skinny bra straps,
well,
but
yeah,
they're like a sports bra in the sense that they're wide, nice and wide. And yeah, it doesn't cut my arms.
that's fantastic.
So, and it's a slip over your head. So you're not sitting there going, trying to do the damn snaps on the front.
Well, I mean, for some people, slipping over the head is more difficult because of raising the
True.
arms and stuff.
Well,
So,
they
like,
actually had them both ways, but I was thrilled they had it where I didn't have to do the front. Because you go to buy a bra and they're almost all where you got to do them in the front or the back.
yes, a lot of them are like 95, 98% of them are.
Yeah. And with a screwed up arm, I can't do the back. So,
Right.
and it only, and there are angles that I can't do because of the restructuring of the arm. Um, so 9 times out of 10, I had to have Mike help me get in a bra. And that was like, this is pathetic. But
Y-
yeah,
I'm able-bodied and still ask the husband to help me with the bra
yeah,
sometimes. It People don't understand how it makes you feel to have to ask somebody for help for something that you feel you should be able to take and be able to do yourself, like putting on your socks, wiping your own butt,
oh,
and like all of these things.
the,
And when you go through something like this and you can't do basic human function things, it makes you feel some kind of way.
yeah, it really does.
It makes you feel like a drain on the person that is
I
caring
was just
for
going to
you.
say an imposition on everybody you know. Yeah.
One of the things, so when I went through my journey, my active treatment was only a year, and my sister was my primary caregiver, and she was working 16 to 18-hour days, right? She was doing all the overtime because uh disability took 4 months to
Yeah.
send me my first check, right? Like, hello, 4 months. And we had a conversation probably a year ago where she felt guilty that she couldn't be at the hospital and she couldn't go to the doctor's appointments. And I was like, are you kidding me? You did the thing that nobody else could do. You paid the rent, like you bought the grocery, like nobody else was doing that. You
Yeah.
were the rock star. And so that is so important, to have conversations with the people that are helping you, right? Like, so that they know that you appreciate them and that you don't resent how they're helping you, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it I cry when I think about it, because they're like, sometimes you ask for things and the response you get makes you feel some kind of way too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was I haven't actually told this story publicly, but when I was in the hospital after the hysterectomy, and what they don't tell you to do, they don't tell you to take stool softeners before you go in, and they
Oh, terrible.
immediately stick you on
Oh,
on pain meds because. But anyway, so once you're on pain meds, you get very constipated, and then they give you the Colace and the stool softeners and all that after they've given you the Oxy, and you're like, and I literally asked a nurse to help me, like, because I was sitting on the toilet for like 3 hours and I couldn't, and I was stitched, like stapled together from my belly button all the way to my hoo-ha, right? Like with these giant big staples. I couldn't strain. or I shouldn't be straining, right? Like, and I
Mhm.
asked her for help, and she really looked at me, well, what do you want me to do? Your job. Like, and then I didn't ask anybody else because I was like, because she made me feel some kind of way. And so I literally had to reach, like, this is TMI, right? I literally had to reach up into my own butt and pull out these
Yeah.
diamond hard marbles, poop marbles. And I was so humiliated by the answer I got. Like, if you don't want to be in healthcare, don't. Like, if you
Yeah.
don't want to help people when they are at their absolute worst, don't do it. Because I wouldn't ask for help after that because of her and her
Mhm.
nasty attitude.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like it's
Yeah. After the first time that happened to me, I brought digestive enzymes with me. I brought things with me that you're not supposed to have. And I was like, fuck you. I'm going
tough,
to take
tough.
care of myself.
And so when people ask me, like, what do I need to know before I go in for surgery? I'm like, ha, ha, take the poop juice now, baby.
Yeah.
Whatever, whether it's prunes or you want to do the colace, you want to do the prescription thing, like however you want to do it, take it before they give you the
Yeah.
pain meds,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're gonna have some issues. And even doing that and being fully hydrated, you still might have some problems. But
Yeah. The only
yeah,
the only painkillers I can take are Toreador and limitation morphine. I'm allergic to everything else. Codeine kills me.
yeah,
I literally
that
woke up in a different room once because a nurse gave me the wrong thing.
Jesus.
Because I know what the shots feel like, and the shot was going through, and it was really painful going through in my upper shoulder area. And I went, "What did you just shoot me with?" And she goes, "Uh, codeine." And I went, "I'm fucking allergic to codeine." And I went, "Call," and then I blacked out.
Done. Yeah, you were done.
And I heard, and as everything was blacking out, I heard them calling code blue, and people were running in the room. So I guess I semi died because she gave me the wrong thing. And I was moved to a room that was directly in front of the nurses. Like they can see in my room all day long when I woke up.
I Because you need to
Don't
be
ever go
monitored.
to don't ever go to St. Mary's in Virginia. They're incompetent. Only reason I was there was because I didn't my insurance hadn't gone through yet, and my mom was willing to help pay for the operation, which I wanted to sue the hospital, but she paid them, so I couldn't exactly sue them. But anyhow, that's another matter.
I mean, you absolutely can, but I mean, it is another matter. And that, like,
When it's another state and yeah,
pain in the butt. It's a pain in
it
the
was
butt.
just not worth it. Legal fees wouldn't be worth it.
Yep, sometimes it's just easier to walk away from a situation
Yeah.
like that. So, if you had to give somebody some advice, if somebody newly diagnosed, what kind of advice would you give?
Take every day one day at a time. Don't stress. If there's something that's stressful, try and find a way around it so you're not in that center, because stress is a killer. It just puts you down that spiral faster than any damn thing you can get your hands on. Um, and just give yourself goals each day to do. Even if it's just sweeping the floor in one room. I mean, there are days when that's all you can do, but at least you did something, you know?
Yep.
Um, don't go calling people just to talk, because your voice on the other end sounds like you're not up to snuff because you're not up to snuff. And that I found that to be more harmful than helpful. So yeah, I did kind of close myself off a little on my end.
That's understandable. And everybody, when they get diagnosed, they handle it differently. Some people don't tell anybody at all
Mm-hmm.
that they're going through this journey, so nobody freaking knows. They go do their treatment and they go to work and they just wear the
Yeah.
scarves and they act like they shaved their head on purpose, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's how it's going to work for them. Not everybody wants to talk about it, and that is okay. That is absolutely okay. uh when we started the conversation, you said that you were a smith, but now you do art in a very different way. I want to talk about it for a minute, like, because
Okay.
I think it's so cool, and you like you're the only person who does this. So you want to talk about it?
Well, when I had the cancer, I was trying something different each day because I knew every time I had an operation, I lost more control of my arm. And it got to the point to where I couldn't even hold a file to use it. I lost the dexterity it took to hold a file. Um, and so I just was trying to find something I could do, anything. Um, I was watching YouTube. What is some art I have know nothing about, and doing all that kind of stuff. My mother-in-law. This was during the time I got on the doing dryland art because my mother-in-law, who was helping me walk to the bathroom, helping me pee, helping me wipe my ass, um, had lupus and didn't know it. Lupus is a blood disease where you don't feel heat. And so people gave me chenille throws to cheer me up, and she put them all in the dryer for 3 hours. So I had pretty burlap that every time you held it up, put dust all over the room, but it was burlap. It was not chenille. And I
Oh my
just,
god.
so I got into doing dry lint as an art form out of guilt, for lack of a better way to say it. I felt really bad. People had spent money because nice chenille throws aren't cheap. Um, and these were the thicker ones, so they were the more expensive ones. And I just felt like I slapped everybody in the face. It's like, oh, you gave me these? 2 weeks later, I destroyed them. That's how I feel about them, you know? So I spent 4 years trying something new every day with testing the dryer lint. And I have to admit, it got to be where it was kind of fun some of the time. I did corrugated cardboard in a damp, moldy basement, moldy corner. I mean, I tried every scenario I could think of that would destroy fibers. And I got some interesting education. Chenille will dye the cardboard, but otherwise it's gone. It leaves a color stain on the cardboard, but the chenille just evaporates in the air.
Interesting.
It was like that was the weirdest. Um, and so yeah, I did test drives for like 4 years trying to figure out what I could do with this stuff. Um, each time my ability to do stuff was getting worse and worse. And then it finally got to the point to where I can hold silverware to eat and I can use tweezers, but that's about the extent of my hand control. Um, my poundage grip is 25, which is the what you need to get dressed, and that's about it. And I used to lift Tanya will tell you, I used to lift bookcases filled with books and walk 50 feet with it. That's how strong I was. Um,
Yeah.
and so now I struggle to hold a glass of water with ice in it. If it's a glass, if it's not plastic and it's an actual glass, I'm likely to drop it because my hand will get tired and then all of a sudden my fingers, I have no control and it just falls right through.
Is it
So
in both hands or just the one?
both hands now.
Both hands.
I had a lousy therapist with the breast cancer and she gave me lymphedema in the other arm now too. She refused to do what the doctor told her to do. And I finally, after a month, I complained to the doctor. I said, look, I've been trying to work this out with her. I've been trying to work with her. I don't know what else to do. He hit the ceiling. And then her response was, well, I'm only going to do a little bit of the lymphatic because I just don't have time to do a lot of stuff. Yeah. And she was the
Like,
only one in my area that I could get the cancer bus to take me to. So I was stuck. So yeah, she got a really good review when I left her.
I
So yeah, so now I have
again, if you don't want to be
lymphedema.
in healthcare, don't.
Yeah, so I now have lymphedema in both arms due to the so Jessica at Tannersville, St. Luke's therapy. Never go there. She's shit. Sorry, I curse when it's appropriate.
I
Some things just don't get the point across as much as a curse word.
those F-bombs go a long way.
Yeah, they do. They go a long way.
Sprinkle
So
them all
yeah,
over the place.
yeah. Her manager tried to step in and go, well, you have to understand, blah blah blah. And I went, no, you have to understand. I have no confidence in this woman now, and there's nothing other than a miracle that will ever have me have confidence in her.
I don't have to understand anything.
Yeah,
I
he
do
was
not.
like he was really quiet after that. Like he was giving me this big lecture, and then he was quiet after that. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know
No,
where else
no,
we could
that's
take you. And
I.
I said,
I will not be taking any lectures today. Thank you
yes,
very
thank you
much.
much. Well, I suddenly found out I had lymphedema in this arm, and I for weeks was telling her this arm is swelling. I swear to God, it feels like it's swelling. Oh, it's not swelling. It's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
she deserves to lose her license. That's bottom line in my book.
I. Any healthcare practitioner that refuses to actually listen to the patient and
Oh,
uh
she went whole hog. She was like, "Oh, I said, my husband talked to you on the phone. You said there was a 4 month rating. There's no 4 month waiting list. Your husband lied." No, my husband doesn't lie. He's a lawyer. He can't lie. He lies, he could lose his license, you know, especially when it concerns something like this. And she goes, for for 2 weeks, she called him a liar. Then she started calling me a liar. And that's when I went, okay, that's it. I'm going to the doctor. Fuck you, bitch.
absolutely.
So
And
you got to,
like
unfortunately, cancer taught me you have to be a bitch sometimes.
you have to
You have to
advocate for
stand up for
yourself.
your rights.
Yep.
And if they're being too slow, you have to be on their ass about it because you get screwed otherwise.
You have to advocate for yourself because sometimes you're the only one doing it. And
Yeah.
you have to know yourself and you just have to speak up for yourself. And I know for some people that's real difficult, but
Yeah.
you do. You absolutely do. I want to thank you so much for being on the show today, Heidi. I really appreciate it. I am going to make sure that you all can get Heidi's links. I'm going to put them in the show notes.
Okay.
And as
I'm
go ahead.
I'm I'm gonna butt in. I'm currently doing, and I'm almost done at this point. I'll be done in another few weeks. Um, with the lymphedema transplant, which is a brand new operation. They've come up with. I've been doing a video of a day by day because when I went to have the operation done, there was absolutely nothing anywhere except for doctors describing how the operation's done, which does bupkis when you're thinking about having the operation done. So I literally put it off for a year because I want I wasn't sure about it. Um, and so I had this day by day thing. So if somebody has lymphedema and it's to the point where you're having to get in a bag for it, you really ought to consider this operation. Lymphedema, when it flares up, blows up, you actually have a fever and throw up and all that jazz. But a flare up is what you get most of the time, and it is the exact same pain as when you burn yourself in the oven and you have the oven door open and you hold your hand in the oven.
Mm.
That's how bad the burn is with lymphedema. So if you're at that stage of lymphedema, get the damn operation done. My arm hasn't blown up once since I got the operation.
That's
And I
beautiful.
mean, it's a sizable, I still have some stitches. I mean, it's a sizable thing. I don't know how you can do that. And then there's another one on my stomach because I take the tissue from your stomach. Um, I have not had any pain in my arm, none, since I had the operation. And I always felt like a lumberjack was sitting on my arm or squeezing my arm. And that was my standard pain level to which to gain thing. That was like, I had that even trying to go to sleep at night. I got myself drunk at basically every night in order to go to sleep until I was on the THC because it was the only way I could get a few hours of sleep. So now
Yeah.
I'll let you have the floor back. Sorry. I just wanted to put in that
No,
little
no,
plug
no, no.
because
Don't apologize for that.
because lymphedema is really common from breast cancer. It's really
Yes.
common to get it. And so if somebody's hitting that stage 2 or above, I mean, stage 2 or worse, by all means, look into the operation. I got mine done at Fox Chase, and government covers it. Medicaid, Medicare, all that stuff covers it. Yeah, I'm that old. Um, and so yeah, it's not like you even have to pay a cent. Um,
That's that's beautiful. I'm so glad that it worked for you. Like,
I really was like, oh, what am I getting myself into? I don't know about this. But yeah, it's the arm is not swollen. I'm not blown up. I'm not in constant pain.
okay, beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna put her socials in the show notes for you so that you could follow her and see her journey. And as usual, please subscribe, like, and share this video out. And if you are a survivor, caregiver, or somebody who practices alternative wellness modalities and you want to be a guest on the show, please go ahead and let me know. Until next time.